Hi, today I would like to talk about the Turkish citizenship program. The Turkish citizen program is completely licensed and supported by the Turkish government. It's based on a law from 2009 that was actually recently amended in 2018 to make it substantially cheaper. So before it was $1 million of investment, now it's only $250,000 of investment, which makes it one of the cheapest options available in the market today. Basically, the benefits of a Turkish passport, again, it's your whole family, children under 18 only. You get free healthcare and education. 110 countries is visa-free travel. It's a freehold property completely in your own name. And if you have a Turkish passport, which only takes 3 or 4 months currently to get your Turkish passport, you can get the E2 visa for America or the ECAA, which is the anchor agreement, they call it, which is the way, UK to get into England. So as I mentioned, the applicant must be over 18. They must invest $250,000 in real estate. The additional charges are about $16,000 for lawyer, appraisal, all of the various things you must do. So the total cost is about $266,000 You're not required to visit Turkey. You can do everything remotely if you want. However, you can, if you want to go to Turkey for an inspection tour, we're very welcome, and our exceptional partner there will completely look after you for a few days. The inspection tour isn't really just about going to look at property. They mix half as going to look at property, the other half is getting a feeling for the country and the city, which means going to the local bazaars, visiting the famous tourist sites, which Turkey is full of. It's a tremendous history. So basically, you reserve your property, you do the preliminary procedures. The good thing about Turkey is there's no police check, there's no restrictions on people that work for the military or the government, whatever it is. There's no real source of funds check either, which is a good thing. Basically, you buy a property, you transfer, you get your submit your application, you get your personal information registry, and then you receive your passport. So it's one of the most simple processes there is available today in the market. So why should you invest in Turkey? Well, Turkey is a very famous country. They call it the bridge between East and West. It's hugely rich in tradition and has a lot of culture. In fact, last year it was the 6th most visited country by tourists in the world. So it's taking millions and millions and millions of tourists every year. For the beaches, for the history, for the culture. Also, it's very well strategically placed, located. It's at the bridge, as I said, of East and West. So 50% of global trade is basically within the 3 or 4 hours radius of Turkey. So it's very well positioned in the world. Some other benefits is free healthcare for citizens. You have a huge medical tourism going to Turkey. I think last year was about 850,000 people traveled to Turkey for medical tourism, as they call it, and it's very, very reasonable and a very good standard. It's a very affordable investment, as I mentioned, 250,000 plus about 16,000. So you're looking at about 6.2 billion Vietnamese dong, which is actually very, very reasonable. What's the deal? Basically, after 3 years, you can sell your investment and you've got your passport forever. Not only that, but we offer with our partner a guaranteed buyback of the value that you paid for your property. So after 3 years, you've got your money back. And probably a key reason for getting a Turkish passport is the E2 visa to America, which Turkish citizens are permitted to apply, and also the access to the UK by the ECAA agreement. So with that, Turkish citizens can go and open a business in England and go and move to England. If you go to England, if you live in England, after 6 years you can apply for your UK passport, but you must start the process with a Turkish passport because they have the agreement with the UK like Turkey does with America. Just very briefly on the path to the UK, the ECAA program. After you've got your Turkish citizenship, you can apply immediately for the ECAA. So basically it takes you 3 or 4 months to get your Turkish passport, and then another 3 or 4 months to get your to get your visa into the UK. So let's say 7 or 8 months you can be in the UK, and at the moment you don't even have to go to Turkey. You can do everything remotely. So the embassy, the Turkish embassy in Hanoi is very supportive, and they will, they'll do all of the biometrics, and everything you require can be done from Hanoi embassy, the Turkish embassy in Hanoi. So it's it's so simple at the moment. Then when you get your ECAA visa, they give you 1 year, and that's the start of business. After 1 year, they come and check everything's okay. If everything's okay, they give you another 3-year visa. Then after 5 years, you can get your permanent resident. And then after 1 year of permanent residence, you can apply for your citizenship. So in 6 years, you can be applying for your English passport. Now for the E2 program, it's obviously different. Again, you need your Turkish passport, because the E2 is specifically designed for citizens of 80 treaty countries, of which Turkey is one. So basically, investors go there, they open a business. There's no minimum, but the lawyers kind of recommend around a minimum of $200,000 or $250,000 to invest in a business, because this visa is basically to attract businesses that will employ American citizens, give Americans jobs. So if you go over to America with your business, which can well be a franchise, and then as long as you're like running your business, surviving, then you just get indefinite renewals of your visa. And also in America, you could also start applying for other visas if you wanted to whilst you're there. So the main thing is to get into America, get your business open. You can be in America living there with your family in 8 months is basically the time that you need, is 8. Basically, as I mentioned with the benefits of the E2 program, it's 100% success rate with our current lawyer if they go through the Turkish citizenship route, because it's far less used than various other countries. You can buy the franchise. So if you buy a franchise, you're taking far less risk and head free. As much as you want to be involved with the business is as much as you need to be. If you just want the franchisee to do everything, they can. They provide the staff, the management, the systems, the uniforms, everything's done. So basically, you can live in America and they do all the work, and of course you share the profit with them at the end of the month. And also, when you're in America, depending on situation and circumstances, it is possible to apply for a green card, depending on how many people you've given a job, etc. But I'm not a lawyer, so I would seriously recommend you to talk to the lawyer about that to get a clearer picture. So why choose Odin land? The first key reason is the guaranteed buyback, which is fantastic. So basically you buy your property, $250,000 US. 3 years later, you get your $250,000 back. In that time, you'd already be in America or the UK potentially, and suddenly you've got your money back. You can invest in your business, you can expand. It's very nice to know that in 3 years, all your money is coming back. We also have an exclusive partner, which is the biggest developer in Turkey. So they have all kinds of properties, houses, apartments, city apartments, beaches, anything. So whatever you want, whatever your thing is, I'm sure that they'll be able to sort you out. Even retail, that's the beauty about the Turkish program. You can invest in any real estate. So whatever you really want, whatever you're looking for, they'll be able to match it. As I mentioned before, our E2 lawyer is absolutely outstanding with a 100% success rate for clients that she engages. So that's a very large peace of mind for our clients, that they know they're working with a top US immigration specialist. Also, our UK lawyer has, again, 100% success rate if they accept you. Like, they have to look at your circumstances. They'll see if they believe you can get it. And if they do, they'll take you on and you will get it. They've got a 100% success rate. Okay, so the fourth point I'd like to say is, as I mentioned earlier, that everything can be done from Vietnam. So you can literally get your Turkish passport issued in the Turkish embassy in Hanoi, and all the other things, the documents, the submitting of documents, the biometrics can all be done in the Turkish embassy in Hanoi. So you don't even have to go to Turkey before you get your passport delivered to you in Vietnam. If you do want to go to Turkey, it's a fantastic country and it's a beautiful country, and that we have a very attractive inspection tour. So basically you don't have to pay for anything except for your flight and your visa. As soon as you arrive, you're picked up at the airport, taken to a lovely hotel. Everything is taken care of you in terms of food and beverage, city tours, tourism tours, property tours, everything. So it's like a lovely 3 or 4 day break, combining work and pleasure, and enjoying what the country has to offer. So just as a quick recap, why choose Odin Land? Firstly, we have a guaranteed buyback. So you get your investment money back in 3 years. We have an exclusive partner in Turkey, one of Turkey's biggest developers, with a huge range of properties that you can see on your trip, or by by video. We do video views and stuff. So also we have an outstanding E2 and ECAA lawyer, which is a massive peace of mind for our clients as they're looking, to make such a big decision. It's such a big step for a family to move to a new country and start a new life. It's very important to have someone professional next to you to help you. And as I mentioned, everything can be done from Vietnam. The investment's all from Vietnam. And also, if you do want to go to Turkey, we have a fantastic inspection tour, totally free except for the flights and the visa. Anyway, thank you very much for your time.